Shalom, salama, greetings, good morning, greetings, grand rising, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Wanda, this is Diaspora Connect. I decided to do this video because I think I put in my community tab that I'm going to do a video about why I think this is, these opinions and views are just my own personally, and I've talked to many women. I'm from America, so why African American older women come to Africa and date younger men. So I wanted to do a video today about that. So thank you to all my faithful subscribers. Welcome in the room. Thank you to my new subscribers. I want to say welcome. Please do me a favor. First, like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up. Still trying to get monetized, but that'll come. I'm at 2,500 subscribers. So thank you so much, fam. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to listening to what I have to say. So welcome to my channel. Welcome in the room. And so today's video is my opinion, and it's about why I think that African American, the older women, are dating younger men. So I would say maybe 40, 45, 40, 45 and up, dating, a lot of them are dating younger men when they come here to Africa, 30s, 20s, maybe. So yeah, I wanted to give my perspective on why I think that they're doing it. Not that I haven't had that opportunity in the past, but yeah, yeah, that's too much. So I'm not going to give points. I'm just going to kind of chat about. I mean, I could have wrote down the points, but as I talked, then ideas come to my head. So I didn't have a list at that point, but I wanted to kind of flow with it. So the first thing that came to my mind when I think it was the set apart spirit that brought that to my mind. I'm not gonna, because it just popped in my mind just out the blue. Do a video about this. So yeah, one of the things that I can say is living in the West. Living in the West, we as middle-aged women, they say older women, middle-aged women, I would say 40, 45 and up. If we are not married, we're single. Um, it is difficult, a little bit more difficult to date in America because it's so much going on. It's hard to trust people. It's so much, it's just too much toxicity all around in America. It's just toxicity everywhere. People got guns and violence and cussing and just, anger, and yeah, it's just too much. So a lot of the women are older. They come here, like myself, come here solo, um, and it's a new environment. And I'm speaking primarily for Africa all across the world, whether you're in Ghana, Gambia, wherever, from the West somewhere, coming specifically from America, coming here to Mama Africa. The environment is so beautiful. It's so peaceful, and you come here and it's like you feel free. You feel like you can be who you was created to be. You feel like um, there's no limit to like what you can do. And then in that process, of wanting to do business, and meeting new friends and hanging out, and connecting with locals. You know, there are the younger guys that you meet. Now, first, I'm gonna focus on the younger guys in Africa versus the men in America in terms of like the age, right? So even though you're 40, 45 and up, majority of the population in Africa, which is like 30 and under, majority of the population, it's a young population in Africa. So when you come here, even as an older woman, most of the men that you're going to interact with in moving around, doing business, and where you live, working on your property, all these drivers and boaters and Bajaji drivers and Uber, all these, most of them are younger guys. I would say 30 and under, majority of them. So that is another thing. It's like the pool of that age is larger here in Africa, and that are not necessarily committed yet, but they may be, but they're not telling you. But there are a lot more younger 30 and under that haven't don't have families yet, or maybe not committed yet. Most of the culturally, most of these the men here, the older ones, 40 and up, they're already married, settled in their homes, working jobs, and going home. Like they're not out doing a lot of hanging out. They're home, they're working and home with their families. So um, that's one thing. And then when you come here, even as an older woman, I would um, share my experience. Um, you do meet a lot of brothers on the continent that are like 30, in the 30s, and even under 20s and 30s. You meet a lot. When I say a lot, a lot. They're everywhere. So I think that's another reason why some of the older women go for the younger men. Not that they are looking, but when you're here and you're in your element, like you're building and you're happy, you're doing business and you feel free, then you have all these young guys around you. Um, they're all trying to talk to you. And even though you are an opportunity for them, but still, a lot of the women, they may have been by themselves for a long time. They may haven't, like me, I was by myself for a while after I got divorced. um, I was by myself. So a lot of these women are alone. They've been alone for a while. Even in America, they've been alone. So when they come here, you got, men everywhere, like fixing stuff, doing everything for you, helping you with everything. Like they're there doing everything. And I understand that, like I said, I know that they know too. A lot of the women know that there are opportunities for these men, but they have needs too, these women. So they end up dating these younger men, or maybe even not even dating. They end up like dealing with these younger men. And some of them start dating, some of them get married. But that's a reason why I could see why some of the older middle aged women are dating 30-year-old men, or 20 or whatever. 20 is way too young, but late 20s, 30s, or whatever. They're dating these younger guys, like 30 years younger than them. Or, yeah, 20, 10, 20. Yeah, that's a lot. And then the thing that they do here, a lot of these women, the older women, they would not do in America because it's very unacceptable, which it is unacceptable here too, because it's not really, that's, the families are probably not happy, just like in America, the parents are not happy with their 30-year-old dating somebody that's 50, or their son or daughter dating someone that's their age. I wouldn't think they would be super happy about that because culturally that's a bit much. But if that person has money, or if that person is a good provider, then they may be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Um, Now, that person does not have children, then that will be a problem because the older woman, she's done with that, or she may, I mean, some of them may be able to have kids, um, but in America, now we're going to go to America. I talked about the men in Africa, the population being a younger population. Now we're going to go to America. For a middle-aged woman, it's rare that you see the older women dating men, like 50s and 60s dating men that is 30 in America. That's rare. You're not going to really see that. They'll be by themselves before they do that. And also the men in America that's usually in their like 30s, they're not as mature as the 30-year-olds here in Africa. The 30-year-olds here in Africa are very mature because they have to, they live a different life and they were raised differently. They're a lot. The 30-year-olds are a lot more mature from what I noticed here in Africa than the 30-year-olds in America. So I've met some 30-year-olds here that act like somebody's father. Like they act like they're 40 or 50 in how they act, not how they look. Like they do things like they tend to everything around the house. Like they fix everything. They garden. They're like handymen, and they're like farmers, and they're like fundies, like mechanics. Like they do a lot. They remind me, their spirit reminds me of like an older man. Like your father or your uncle, or some cousins, or somebody, men that's older, and they've been around, so they know how to do more manly stuff, or stuff for the house or and the land and stuff like that. Not that you don't have young men in America that can do that, but majority of Africans, know how to tend to the land, and they know how to fix stuff, and they know how to, they're very resourceful here. So you tend to forget when you get here and you meet these younger men, you tend to forget that they are only 30 because they act older. They act so much more mature. Um, and yes, like I said, we're not discounting the fact that you are an opportunity to them because you have money. That of course, that's definitely something that we all must know. But when you're around them, you almost forget, because I have experienced that. You almost forget that this person is only 30 years old, because they do, like, if you, for example, if you go to the grocery store and you have, you have your cart and you have all your stuff. The young guys in the grocery store, they can be 20s, they can be 30s, 40s, whatever. Usually it's like 30 and under. They will take your bag from you. When I go to the grocery store, any store I go to, especially if I show my hair, if they see the gray hair, yeah, I'm gonna get top notch service. But when I go to like a grocery store and if I have a basket in my arm or a cart, they will just come up. They won't even ask me. They will just take it and they'll start walking beside me and pushing my stuff. If I have things in my hand and I'm, going to the store and I grab a bunch of items and I forget to get a cart because I'm bad for doing it, y'all. So I have all these items. They'll just come up and take them out my arms, or they'll come up with a basket, take my items and put them in the bag, and then walk with me. See, this is the type of stuff that they do here, the men do here, which is so much more different than in the West. Not trying to say, for me, I'm not trying to compare and say one is better than the other. What I'm trying to do is give you an idea of how some of these older women can come here and they can date or even marry somebody that's they're 60 and the person is 30, because a lot of these young men in Africa have been raised differently. They're raised with a lot of responsibility, and a lot of times when they're younger, they're even taking care of their siblings, like really doing a lot. So by the time they get 20s and 30s, they've had experience with taking care of a family, taking care of their mom and dad. They have a lot of responsibility to tend to the family. So when they're around you, you almost tend to forget that this person is only 30 or 20, because they do so much. They're very um, um, skillful in a lot of areas. And so that is another reason why I can see why the older African Americans, the middle aged African Americans, they come here and they date men that are like 10, 20, 30 years younger than them. Also, going back to America, in America, um, the 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 relationship that the older woman would have with a 30-year-old or 20-year-old, it would be obvious in America that that young man is too young in the mind, and not only in the mind, but in the responsibility, in the maturity level and stuff like that. So it would be more obvious in America for a 60-year-old to date a 30-year-old. You have some instances, but majority of the older women won't go down like that. They won't go down that far. They might go 10 years down, but 20 and 30 years, that's kind of rare in America that you see a 60-year-old dating a 30-year-old, but you see it more on the continent. And I know a lot of people have been asking, why is that? Why do they get over there and date these younger men? And I've seen people do videos, but I wanted to do a video from the older woman, more mature woman's perspective on why I think they do it, based on my experience of being here in Africa and dealing with the men here. They're different from the men in America, um, maturity wise and responsibility wise. So it's almost like they're kind of on that middle aged woman's level in responsibility, in maturity, in functionality of how a house is supposed to be run, a business, tending to the land, and stuff like that. Things that the older woman or middle-aged woman wants to accomplish here in having a business, and buying land and building a house and all that. See, the Africans are accustomed to being in environments like that in business. They're natural born entrepreneurs. They can sell anything. They're good salesmen, like, yeah. And then also they majority of them have land somewhere. They may not have the resources to develop it like they would like to, but majority of them have land. So you have that so they can show you, what to do, and they do a lot of that stuff for you. So it's a different dynamic with that more mature woman, and you have this younger man here, but his development is advanced, I would say. The African on the continental African brothers' development is a little bit more advanced than the development of the men in America age wise and what their responsibility is. So it's a different the relationship is almost like the responsibility that the 30-year-old continental African man has is the type of responsibility that the older men in America display, like the middle-aged men in America display that maturity, that experience, that know-how to do certain things. A lot of times that comes with age and experience, but since the continental African men are have to do that a lot earlier. So they're a little bit more advanced when it comes to that type of stuff overall. Not everybody. This is not this is just a general thing. It's not everybody because you have differences on both sides. But that's another reason why some of these women, the older middle-aged women, go for men that are a lot younger. And sometimes we're wondering. And also, this is the second point, and this is funny, but it is. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to talk about it. The African men are are healthier than the men in the West, right? So their diet is better. Their body is stronger. So some of the ailments or the um, I would say ailments that maybe the middle-aged men in America would experience, um, they don't really necessarily experience it here. So of course, the diet, and we eat GMO food, and we have a lot of sicknesses and illnesses that we have developed living in the West because we don't eat right. We don't eat healthy. As we get older, it affects our libido. It affects different parts of our body, and we become a little bit more sickly. So the middle-aged women in America, the men their age, some of the men their age are sickly. They can't, uh, they have ED, erectile dysfunction. A lot of that going on in America. And you can have younger men have that too. So this is just general, I'm just not saying everybody. This is just certain cases. But so when you come here as a middle-aged woman and you're healthy and you're fine, but you meet in America, you've been trying to meet somebody. You've been dating, like some of these women, in American middle-aged women, they probably talk to different men dating, but the men their age some of them are not healthy enough. Some of them have erectile dysfunction. Take it from me personally, from personal experience, that happens when I would say 40 and over. You got to really find out if that man has some problems, because a lot of men in America do, and I'm just saying they do. But when you come here to Africa, these men don't have that problem, and because of their diet. Not saying one is better than the other, but I'm just being realistic about why some of these older women may go for some of these younger men. They can function, especially the 30-year-olds. They can function. They don't have any problems. But then, as an older woman trying to meet a man in America close to your age or even a little younger than you, especially if you're 60 or 50, even the 40-year-olds have problems. Erectile dysfunction. They have those problems in America, but here, um, the, these men don't have no problem like that. And that's another thing is, these women get here, these middle-aged women get here, they start dating and, you know, seeing, dating some of these men, and they can function. And they like that, it's a match because the woman, she's still, a lot of the older women, especially the black women, are healthy, and they're vegan, or they have really good diets, and they've been kind of taking care of themselves. So their body's still okay, it's strong. They don't have a problem in the sexual area. So these men and these older women, they're perfect, in that situation. They're matched in the sexual department. They say women, and I don't know how true this is, they say women reach their sexual peak at an older age, 40 or whatever, 30, 40, I don't know. And men, it's younger. So I guess it's more like a sexual match with the older woman and this younger man in the 30s, maybe. Um, but I know with the men over in America, a lot, unless they're married and they've been with that person for a long time, and and they don't have any like issues or sicknesses, those men are good. But when you're a single man and you're out here, especially in America, and you deal with a lot of different women, and um, if you're like sleeping with a lot of women, if you are watching porn a lot, if you are masturbating a lot of times that affects the way you function, medicine, your health. All these affect a man as he gets older. So, you can wear your body out. You can wear your organs out. You can do that. So a lot of times with older men, sometimes that's a problem for the older woman. So she has to go down a little bit, or she'll just stay by herself. Um, and it's kind of hard to find, especially the older the man gets, the more difficult the age is for a woman to, the more difficult it is to find a man that can actually function, sexually, or they have erectile dysfunction. So that's a big reason also why some of these older women in their 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they down here. Um, because that's what's available. 30s all the way across. 30s and under. 30s and yeah, 30s and under is available. It's a lot of them. I rarely meet locals when I'm going around doing business, and since I've been here in their 40s or 50s, that's kind of rare. And when I see them, they're usually working. So I'll see them like at the bank, or I'll see them at immigration, or I'll see them at the business office. It's always they're working, doing business, attorneys or advocates or this and that. But the ones that are around doing the service jobs, they're younger, 30s and 20s younger. So, and those are the ones you're gonna run into more often, especially if you're going to, vacationing in Zanzibar, or all the nice, hotels and restaurants, all these service um, places where service providers are there. You're gonna find younger men, beach boys. You go to the beach, you're gonna find a younger man. So that's probably another reason why some of the middle-aged women date these younger men. So I think those are the two major reasons that I see. Also, a third one is um, the younger men, not that they're perfect by any means, but I'm just giving you an idea of why I think some of them do it. Is they're very helpful. So, and I know they're doing, a lot of them do it because they feel like you're rich and you got money, and I do understand that. But nevertheless, it still happens. We can't discount it. But whenever you need something, they're gonna be there. Like for me, I have a driver. Whenever I need to go somewhere, he's like, okay. He's never telling me. He's really telling me no unless he's sick or he has, something else. But for the most part, everywhere I go, he take me. Like he never tells me hardly no. So anything I ask him, he do. So stuff like that. Not like you have to have somebody do everything you want them to do, but because you're coming from America, you don't really get that. Especially if you're a single parent, single person, you used to managing. In America, you manage everything by yourself. You go to the grocery store, you don't get help, you be struggling. I remember one time I had my son with me, he was little, and I was married at the time, but I was at the grocery store with him, and I had to carry him in one arm because I had to carry him in one arm and push the cart with the other. I was struggling, y'all. I was at the register and I had all this stuff, and I had him in one arm, and I had to try to get all this stuff. The lady rolled my stuff up, but I had to get my bags, put him in a cart, and carry him and all that. And I was struggling. the good thing is that the doors at Walmart were the doors that open, so that was a good thing because it's no way I would have been able to open the door. But everybody watched me, like nobody helped. And see, this is the type of stuff that we're used to dealing with in America. People don't really help you if you're not with somebody. They see you struggling. They don't always help you. But here it's different. It's a different world. People help you even when you don't ask them to help you, even when you're trying to be strong and carry your own luggage, your own bags. Or when I came from the airport, whenever I travel and I have my bags, I always have my driver. It doesn't matter if it's a taxi or Uber, whoever you get, they're gonna grab your bags. If you're a woman and you got bags and suitcase, they're gonna just take it from you. They're not even gonna ask you, "Can I help you?" They're just gonna take your stuff. And so it's just the culture here, and this is these are things uh, that we see when we're here. So this could be a reason why some of these older women, these could be some of the reasons why some of the elder women or the older women date down, they date men that are young. Some people think that's too young, but you know, they I guess that, they're comfortable in it. The they have to be careful for sure though, because they are looked at as an opportunity. So you have to use discernment in who you deal with. I mean, for me, that's even in business and everything I've done. I had to use discernment for that, just doing everything. So of course you have to use discernment in all of the people that you meet, the younger people. You have to, yeah, you have to just, use discernment and just watch these people and see the integrity level before you decide if this is something that you want to do, especially if you decide as an older woman that you want to date somebody younger. You really have to pay attention, watch them, see how things go. Some women have been successful here in Africa. Some of the African Americans have married some locals and been successful with some of these men that are younger than them. So, but then you have a lot that have come up in bad situations, and I don't know if the men had something to do with it. Could be, could not. I don't know, but it's still something you have to take into consideration. The fact that you're an opportunity for everybody here, also. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to be mindful in America as well. So it's no different over there. You can be, things could happen to you over there just like over here. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video. I said I would because I was thinking about it popped in my head. Um, for me to do a video and explain why I think that some of the middle age or older women, since I'm in that category, in that bracket, date down or marry down, like way down, like you 60, you think somebody 30. And then also, this came to my mind, some of these women that are 50, 60, whatever, they look young, like me. I'm in my 50s, but sometimes people think I'm younger, so, you're healthy, take care of yourself. You still look youthful. Sometimes people think you are younger than you are when they approach you. And sometimes you have to, you know, say to yourself, wait a minute, I'm this age and they're this age. Wait a minute. We do that a lot because being from the West, we're like, you're too young. I'm this. It's always an age thing. But then they say, the men here say, I don't care about age. They always say that. I don't care about age. It doesn't matter. You still look this. And a lot of times the woman does look younger. She does look nice and healthy, younger and vibrant and stuff like that. So it doesn't stop these young men from approaching these middle-aged women. So that too, constantly telling people you too young, you too young, you too young. You know what I mean? So just especially when you have so many, because it's a lot of younger men here, 30s, 20s, and constantly you're like telling them no, no, no. Sometimes when the women connect with somebody that is on their level in terms of like what they want to do. So they might want to, live out in nature. They might want to be plant fruit and vegetables and build a structure. And then this young guy he's experienced doing this, so he's showing her how to plant, and he's with her, he's telling her how to pick, bricks for the house and stuff like that. Being that advisor type, so almost like they have something in common, and they're kind of on that same wavelength or same level in terms of desires and goals and stuff. It's just that the men may not have the resources and she does. So you do have to be careful with that too, because you don't want nobody to be trying to take your stuff and take what you got after you. So it's so many levels to it. But I just wanted to do this video and get my 2 cents on why I think African Americans, middle-aged women date younger African men. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to end this video. Um, I think it's been about 30 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to do this and just give a different perspective coming from a middle-aged woman. I don't know if someone has done a video um, specifically about this, because I know a lot of the videos that are being done, and especially by men, they're African American men are kind of like saying, "Women, why are you dating somebody that's below you and not on your level and younger than you and all this?" And it's so much more to it than that. It's so much more, especially when you come to Africa. Africa is a different world from America. Totally, it's different in every way. Um, Development and just culturally, just everything is different. It's a different world. You feel true freedom when you live on the continent and when you come to Africa. And so you have it's almost like you're in a different world. So it's so different. It's hard to compare how you do things over here. That's why it's a lot of things that people do when they come to Africa they would never do in America. It's a lot of people that they might date or talk to here that they would never talk to in America, or it's situations that they're in here that they would never get in America. So it's just different. It's just you have to be here to experience it or talk to somebody to see how it's different. So yeah, just wanted to do this video. Thank you for tuning in. Please do me a favor if you have not done so. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up. Hit on the notification bell to be notified whenever I do a new video. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna do another video next week. And if something pops in my spirit or my mind about something to discuss with you, I'll do it before then. I got a collaboration coming up too. I'm collabing with an Continental African sister, so we're gonna do a collab. She wants to ask me questions about, um, my life here in Tanzania since I've been here for 4 years, and she's, wanted to collab with me and get an African American perspective, somebody that been here, a little bit of time. So anyway, I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll do another one soon. Okay, thank you so much. Also, I accept donations. I'm going to put my information down in the description box. I have Cashapp. I have PayPal. I have a land and building project that I'm working on, you guys, and I'm gonna show you some stuff, but I'm not gonna show you a lot. So I'm trying to be a little bit more private with my personal plans because you got frenemies on here watching, enemies, haters, lovers, nice. You got all kinds of folks, and I have to be a little bit more private with what I do for my safety and security, and for yeah. So, but I'm gonna share some stuff, and anyway, I'm gonna put the link, the things in the, below the all my at all the Cash App, PayPal, Landability Project. Also, I have IG, WHANDFORD, Wanda, W Handford one. Please hit me up at on IG, Instagram. Follow me there. Not hit me up, but follow me there on IG. I have a Facebook, Wanda Handford. Follow me there or hit me up there. Um, yeah. So trying to grow all my platforms because I'm going to be expanding Diaspora Connect soon, you guys. Um, yeah, I'm going to be selling also some sea moss too, because I'm right over here in East Africa. Everybody else is doing it. So, hey, I got to connect. I'm about to start selling some sea moss. I'm not shipping it to America yet because shipping ain't no joke. I got to find out about that. But right now, if you're in Tanzania, and you are interested in getting some sea moss, I have a connect and start selling some sea moss for you. I'm gonna start blending some drinks for myself. I gotta learn, y'all. I gotta get me a blender and start learning how to make some drinks. I'm gonna start doing that. Maybe I'll sell some drinks too. So yeah, so I'm about to start expanding Diaspora Connect. But right now I do travel and business consultations. So if you're interested in visiting Tanzania, repatriating, and or doing business in Tanzania, hit me up at diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, diasporaconnect0@gmail.com, and I can do a travel or business consultation for you. Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to say salama, shalom, peace, family. See you guys in the next video.